The US has long been a pillar of global leadership, taking the helm in matters of diplomacy, economy, and security. However, for the past 10 years, China has now asserted themselves as global leader, taking over several countries and starting Belt and Road Initiative to gradually become leader in the world with financial incentive and security incentive. For example, Africa has now completely become the China. Recently, China just delivered a Chinese-funded parliament to Zimbabwe, and almost all West African countries has Chinese-funded projects, which means China is gradually becoming world leader. This cannot be stopped. China is winning and winning big. What can the West do? How will the US and European powers respond to this growth? We are going to find out in this video. Stay with us to the end to see the step Americans are taking to slow down China's growth. Find out if they are successful or not. Hello and welcome back to Innovative Check YouTube channel, where we delve into the innovative and transformative projects changing our world. If you're new to the channel and enjoy learning about innovation stories around the world, you've come to the right place. Please subscribe, like, and comment to help boost our videos on YouTube. US-China relations have put into question the capability of the US administration in navigating the intricate web of international politics, with the title suggesting China cannot be stopped. It's imperative to delve deeper into the nuances of this evolving dynamic and where the US might be faltering. The US for decades has been the forerunner in establishing global norms, ensuring that international laws are adhered to, and setting the stage for diplomatic dialogues. Yet, the meeting in Malta between the US and China paints a different picture. The gathering of top diplomats, aimed at resetting the toxic relations between the two nations, underscores the reactive approach the US has now been forced to adopt. Instead of setting the narrative, the US seems to be responding to the pressures exerted by China. Just a quick reminder to hit that like button below. YouTube has been restricting my videos a lot recently because of bots, so your like does help out this video massively in terms of the algorithm in YouTube. The sovereignty of Taiwan has always been a point of contention between the US and China. While the US has been a staunch supporter of Taiwan's autonomy, China views Taiwan as an integral part of its territory. The recent escalations surrounding this issue indicate a failure on the part of the US administration to preemptively address and mitigate these tensions. Instead, the US finds itself in a reactionary position, trying to salvage relations and maintain a semblance of balance in the Asia-Pacific region. Furthermore, the shooting down of a Chinese-operated spy balloon on American soil by American fighter jets is a stark reminder of the precarious state of US-China relations. The incident, which China labeled as a violation of international practice, not only heightened tensions, but also exposed the US' inability to manage and de-escalate conflicts effectively. The fact that such an incident could occur to begin with raises questions about the US intelligence capabilities and its readiness to handle potential threats. Trade disputes and military buildups have further strained the relationship between the US and China. The Biden administration's decision to cancel a potential Biden-Xi meeting in November underscores the lack of trust and mutual respect that currently exists between the two nations. China's condition for the meeting, which demanded the US to show sufficient sincerity, is a testament to the diminishing standing of the US on the global stage. The absence of Xi Jinping at the recent G20 summit, coupled with Biden's evident disappointment, further highlights the shifting dynamics. No longer is the US the sole superpower dictating terms and conditions. Instead, it finds itself on an equal footing, if not a step behind, trying to negotiate and navigate its way through this new geopolitical landscape. The Taiwan Strait remains a ticking time bomb, with both nations having a vested interest in its future. China's assertion that Taiwan is a red line in their bilateral relations and its promise to retake Taiwan by force, if necessary, is a clear challenge to the US, view authority and influence in the region. China's confident proclamation that its development cannot be stopped further solidifies its position as a global powerhouse, ready to challenge the US at every turn. The US, once a beacon of hope and a symbol of strength, now finds itself in uncharted waters. The evolving dynamics with China, marked by trade disputes, military tensions, and geopolitical challenges, expose the vulnerabilities and shortcomings of the US administration. The world watches with bated breath as these two giants lock horns, hoping for a peaceful resolution, but preparing for the potential upheaval that might ensue. The Malta meeting between US and Chinese diplomats, though a significant step towards mending broken bridges, unveils deeper issues that the US faces on the global stage. The balance of power, which was once skewed in favor of Western nations, especially the US, is now teetering on the edge, with China making significant strides in asserting its dominance. The U.S. foreign policy, once hailed as proactive and visionary, now seems to be caught in a quagmire of its own making. Its approach towards China, especially in the past decade, has been a mix of confrontation and cooperation. However, the current administration's strategy, or lack thereof, is causing significant concern among allies and partners. The EU, for instance, is caught in a predicament. On one hand, it relies on the US for security and defense, but on the other, it cannot ignore the economic behemoth that is China. And furthermore, the US waning influence in global financial institutions, such as the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, is another point of concern. China, with its Belt and Road Initiative, is not just expanding its infrastructural reach, but is also creating an alternative financial ecosystem. The Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank (AI), spearheaded by China, is a testament to its growing influence in shaping the global financial architecture. The US also seems to be losing the technological race. While Silicon Valley remains a hub for innovation, China's advances in areas like artificial intelligence, 5G technology, and biotechnology cannot be ignored. The U.S. protectionist policies, including stringent visa regulations, are hampering its ability to attract global talent, giving countries like Canada and Australia an edge. China, with its massive market and state-backed support, is luring tech companies and startups, further eroding the U.S. technological dominance. The military front is no different. The U.S. defense budget, though gargantuan, is spread thin across various global commitments. From the Middle East to Eastern Europe, the U.S. military is stretched, causing concerns about its ability to respond to immediate threats, especially in the Asia-Pacific. China, on the other hand, is focused on building a blue water navy and enhancing its capabilities in areas like cyber warfare and space exploration. Diplomacy, which used to be the U.S. forte, is now its Achilles heel. The lack of consistency in its foreign policy, coupled with an ever-changing roster of diplomats and administrators, is causing unease among allies. The end names of administrators involved in the Malta meeting, for instance, indicate a lack of continuity and vision. While Jake Sullivan's talks with Wang Yi were deemed candid and constructive, the lack of concrete outcomes and the looming shadows of past confrontations make the path to reconciliation arduous. It's not just about China. The U.S. relations with Russia, especially concerning Ukraine, its withdrawal from Afghanistan, and its lukewarm response to crises in places like Myanmar and Yemen, raise questions about its commitment to global peace and security. The U.S. seems to be retreating from its role as the global watchdog, leaving a vacuum that nations like China and Russia are more than willing to fill. The U.S. historical role in shaping the post-World War II order has been monumental. Its leadership in establishing institutions such as the United Nations, NATO, and the World Trade Organization laid the groundwork for decades of relative peace and prosperity. However, the global landscape is rapidly evolving, and the challenges of the 21st century demand a recalibrated approach. The recent events in Malta signify not just the complexities of U.S.-China relations but also highlight a broader issue: the U.S. diminishing influence in a multipolar world. The rise of regional powers such as India, Brazil, and South Africa, coupled with the resurgence of Russia and the assertiveness of China, indicates a shift from a unipolar to a multipolar world. The U.S., accustomed to its position of unchallenged dominance, is now grappling with the realities of shared power and influence. Its traditional allies in the EU, while still aligned with U.S. interest, are also exploring avenues of cooperation with other global players, further complicating the geopolitical matrix. The U.S. approach to global challenges, be it climate change, pandemics, or nuclear proliferation, has often been viewed as unilateral. The withdrawal from the Paris Agreement, the skepticism around the World Health Organization, and the abandonment of the Iran nuclear deal are cases in point. Such actions not only erode the U.S. credibility, but also provide space for other nations to step in and shape the narrative. Economic dynamics further accentuate the U.S. challenges. The trade war with China, initiated under the pretext of protecting American industries, had far-reaching consequences. Not only did it strain U.S.-China relations, but it also impacted global supply chains, causing economic disruptions worldwide. While the intent might have been to curtail China's economic rise, the collateral damage affected American consumers, farmers, and manufacturers. If you are enjoying this video so far, please don't forget to subscribe, share the video, and comment. The U.S. approach to international agreements and treaties also raises eyebrows. The propensity to enter and exit agreements based on domestic political calculations undermines its reliability as a global partner. Whether it's the Trans-Pacific Partnership, the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty, or the aforementioned Paris Agreement, the U.S. inconsistency sends mixed signals to the international community. Cultural and societal shift within the U.S. also play a role in its external relations. The polarization of American society, marked by stark ideological divides, impacts its foreign policy. Administrations come and go, each with its agenda, leading to a lack of continuity in U.S. international commitments. The world, while sympathetic to internal challenges, expects stability and predictability from a superpower. Education and innovation, once the cornerstone of American progress, are facing challenges. While American universities remain global leaders, the increasing cost of education and barriers to immigration deter international talent. The U.S. needs to foster an environment of inclusivity and openness to remain at the forefront of global innovation. The realm of defense and security, while the U.S. undoubtedly has the most potent military, over-reliance on hard power is not sustainable. Soft power, encompassing cultural influence, diplomatic outreach, and global goodwill, needs equal emphasis. The U.S. must leverage its cultural exports, from Hollywood to Silicon Valley, to foster global connections and mutual understanding. The path ahead for the U.S. is fraught with challenges, but it's also replete with opportunities. By embracing multilateralism, fostering genuine partnerships, and prioritizing global well-being over narrow interests, the U.S. can not only mend its relations with China, but also reclaim its esteemed position on the global stage. The world is not looking for a hegemon. It seeks leadership that is empathetic, inclusive, and forward-thinking. The U.S., with its rich legacy and immense potential, is well poised to provide that leadership. Thank you for your attention, and I welcome your thoughts and questions on this complex and vital subject. Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, please like and share the video, and subscribe to get exclusive videos about how phenomenally China is developing and growing its influence. Your subscriptions and likes motivate us to generate more content, so please keep supporting us. Check out this video showing on your screen right now, and I will see you on the other side.